The sun beat down mercilessly on the training field, turning the dirt beneath her boots into a scorching, powdery trap. Sweat dripped into her eyes, blurring her vision as she missed the target for the third time that morning. The other recruits moved like machines, sharp, flawless, relentless. She moved like she was drowning. Each mistake carved deeper into her chest, each failure another reminder that maybe she didn't belong here. Whispers circled the field. Some recruits smirked, others looked away, but every pair of eyes told her the same thing. She wasn't cut out for this. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Elena. She had fought harder than anyone just to earn a spot in this program. But now, standing in the blazing heat, her body trembled and her lungs burned as though she were already defeated. And in the corner of her vision stood the SEAL commander, stone-faced, unreadable, watching. His silence was heavier than any shout. She replayed her father's words in her mind. You'll never be enough for them. The words echoed, cruel and relentless, louder than the bark of any drill instructor. When the commander finally stepped forward, the field seemed to hold its breath. Dust swirled in the air around his boots as he stopped inches from her, eyes locked on hers. Every recruit leaned in, waiting for the inevitable dismissal, the crushing order to pack her things and go. But instead, he said just 3 words, eyes on me. The command sliced through the air with surgical precision. Elena froze. His voice wasn't harsh. It wasn't scolding. It was steady, almost grounding. She raised her gaze, and for the first time, she saw something she hadn't expected in his eyes. Not pity, not doubt, but belief. Her rifle shook in her hands. Her mind screamed with the memory of every missed shot, every stumble, every whispered laugh. But his voice stayed with her. Eyes on me. One by one, the sounds of the field, the thud of boots, the clatter of steel, the murmurs of doubt began to fade. Her breath slowed. Her trembling eased. She squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out, crisp and sharp, echoing across the field. This time, the bullet struck dead center. A ripple passed through the recruits. Gasps, stunned silence, and then an almost reverent hush. But she wasn't finished. Shot after shot, each steadier than the last, her body aligning not with fear, but with focus. By the time her last round struck the target, the silence erupted into something she had never expected. Applause. Still, Elena's heart pounded. She glanced at the commander, afraid the approval of her peers was meaningless. But he simply gave a single nod, small, controlled, yet powerful enough to pierce the doubts that had chained her for years. In that moment, she realized something. The order hadn't been about marksmanship. It was about reclaiming herself, about silencing the voices, her father's, her own, the doubters circling her like vultures. The commander hadn't saved her. He had reminded her that she was capable of saving herself. And yet, a question lingered. Why had he done it? In a place where weakness was scorned, why show her grace? That was the moral tension no one voiced, but everyone felt. Some recruits saw it as favoritism, others as leadership. Elena herself could only feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on her shoulders, because now she had no excuse. Belief had been given, and she would have to rise to it. Days later, under a sky painted in gold and crimson, she passed the same drill, flawless, relentless, a soldier reborn. The commander never spoke of that moment again. He didn't need to. His order had been simple, but its echo would follow her for the rest of her life. Because belief, when spoken at the right moment, has the power to turn failure into fire. And sometimes, courage doesn't come from within. It's unlocked by someone who refuses to look away. Remember this. Kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. The field that once swallowed her now carried her footsteps like a promise. The place where she nearly broke became the place where she began again. If this story moved you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you believe in the power of second chances and silent courage, make sure to subscribe, because more stories like this are waiting for you.